those sanctions, or?
No, I just lost a little wager with the quarterback. Well, I won half the wager, lost the other half. We actually did that competition that they had the bowl game here where you had to punt it, throw it, and kick a field goal from 110 yards. And a couple of them made it, a couple of them didn't. I thought I'd win the bet for sure, but I forgot how far they could throw it. I mean, Tate threw it like 75 yards, so all he had to do was make an extra point, and he still missed. So he has no kicking skills, I don't think.
What about his quarterbacking skills over the first 2 days here? What have you
He's
seen?
learning. You know, he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot to learn. You know, the rest of the quarterbacks, Anu and Brandon, are helping him and teaching him. But you know, he's going to be a good player. He's just a rookie right now.
Do you instruct them to handle a new guy in a certain way, or is it just kind of up to them?
No, I think the players. You know, you want all the players to take ownership, and in particular the older guys take some leadership in addition to the ownership, and it comes natural. You don't want to force it, but for a quarterback position, I hope it comes natural, and it does.
What did DeBeer show you when he had a chance to start late last season?
Well, he was composed. He didn't make any mental errors. He's a smart guy, and we've moved him around a couple different positions. But he's gotten bigger and he's slowly getting better every year. And this should be his best year. You know, he's got great size, and it's really important to him. And he's extremely intelligent.
Is there a position you envision him playing, or where you think he might be best at?
Gerhard?
Yeah.
No, both. He can play guard and tackle, and we'll probably have a bigger need at tackle, but he'll play both.
What would you have calculated the odds of him being a starter when he first showed
Gerhard,
up?
well, you know, once he figured out how to put his thigh pads on, you thought, okay, now you have a chance. Then it was, the shoulder pads, and then it was the knee braces and the shoes, and so it's been a work in progress. But when he first walked across, you saw him and said, boy, this guy's going to look like a big body guy if he gains some weight and if he's tough enough. That was always a question. You know, football is a physical sport, and he's all that.
I know you often talk about size. You haven't gotten, there's not many guys that walk on the campus the size of Keenan Walker.
Yeah, Keenan's, he's got all the stuff that you want. You know, he's a big athletic guy. He's got a nastiness and physicalness to him. And, you know, again, he's a rookie, and he's learning, and he's going to have some growing pains this spring and this summer. But we like what we see so far.
Is that one of the harder positions, offensive line?
Well, yeah, mentally and physically, without question. Mentally, obviously, because of all the things that could happen to him from a scheme standpoint, but physically, just because it's so fundamental of a position. There's so many techniques that you have to learn that it takes him a while usually.
What went into Cloy moving?
He has to move,
okay.
And I think what our needs were anyway on D-line. I think it was a good move, and you can't really tell much in just 2 days in shorts, but I think it's going to be a good move for him and us.
Is he the right body type for what you want?
Yeah, I mean, you know the body type there. You want, everybody wants those 6'6", 270-pound guys, but you just need size. We need to get bigger. We're still not big enough there, but we'll address that next couple of years.
And what about Cobb? Whose idea was that?
Same thing. He wanted to do that. Plus, we needed some competition over there, and he'll probably still run some fullback for us. You know what he did last year. I think he only ran 2 plays, so I told him if you can just remember those same 2 plays, he can maybe play a little both ways.
Is this kind of a fresh start for him at linebacker?
Yeah, it's a fresh start for a lot of guys on defense, just because it's a new staff and some new techniques. So I'm anxious to see what they all do.
Not necessarily specific to your defense, but is it getting sort of harder to tell the difference between a linebacker and a strong safety these days, the way
there's more teams
play?
playing true nickel. I mean, very few teams will come out with just 4 DBs on a base offense. There's usually at least 5 and sometimes 6. So nowadays, a true nickel defense is really an every down defense.
Taking this week off what's the reason behind that?
Well, the only reason why we're not practicing during the week next week is because I'm going on a Nike trip. So I don't set the time when they put the Nike trip. So actually, I don't mind it because it breaks it up. Our guys will lift Monday and Wednesday. They'll meet with their coaches on Tuesday and Thursday, and then we'll resume with full pads on Saturday. So they don't really have the week off. I guess I do, in a way, because we'll have a couple business meetings over there, but it's not a lot of work. So
Where's the Nike?
It's in Hawaii. Yeah,
That's
I
rough.
feel bad.
All that grief you gave the coaches about volunteering to go to Hawaii.
I know,
Now
that's
you go.
exactly right. I guess I'm exercising the head coach privilege, and taking the trip. And this is always, actually, believe it or not, I am telling the truth here. It's probably as good a week of professional development as you can have, because there's 20 or 25 other coaches there that are top of the game, and all we do is lay around and talk ball most of the time. I don't tell anybody that we would play now or in the future, but guys like Urban Meyer and some guys that are friends of mine that I get to see on that trip, we do talk a lot of football. Now, I'm not all day, but just enough to make it look like a business deal.
Is there a learning curve at all for the new defensive coaches to learn how you like to run a practice?
I think so. I think with Coach Adai and Coach Amy, they've been here, so there's nothing with them as far as learning. With Coach Yates and Coach Williams, I think the first practice was a little telling for them, but they handled it quick. Plus, they all talk, and I think they understand the tempo. And we've gone slower than normal because we're doing so much teaching. But as spring goes along, and certainly in August practices, the tempo will get picked up, and it'll be practice as usual.
Do you think the idea of a team, a cold weather team, holding part of a spring practice in a warm weather environment, is that something that might catch on with other teams?
Oh, sure, if they allow it to happen. But what we can say is we don't have to leave to do that. We can do it right here in our own deal. So I know that's they can say what you want. That's a recruiting tool. But if that's a recruiting tool for them for 1 week, it's a recruiting tool for us year round. So that's what we've been saying, that you want to come to where the weather's nice, you don't have to wait till spring break. We got spring break every week.
Just 2 days in, but is the new practice format giving you what you wanted from it?
Yeah, and this is more of a spring format. I'm not going to say this is what it's going to be in the fall, but in the spring, in particular, because we'll have time when I get back to do meetings on the days we're not practicing. I like the way it's been set up. It's long. I'm just standing out here for 2.5 hours is a long time for the players, but they seem to hold up okay. And you're only going 15 practices, and you don't have to worry about their legs because we're not playing a game. So so far I like it. I'll have to ask the coaches and players what they think.
I know you don't like to talk about injuries, but is there anything you can tell us about Brian Andrews?
Nothing yet. Everything. He's out of the hospital. He's home resting right now. I'll know a little bit more probably next week.
You just think when something like that is just our luck. After last season with the injuries.
I try not to think that way. Like, oh boy, here it is, because it's just more importantly is how do you react to adversity, and our guys I think are accustomed to that, if nothing else.
Good.
Okay.
Good, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.